I'm Julie Saunders.
I'm Jan Wilson. Julie and I both have experience as school librarians, and we've worked together as district library leaders.
In each episode, we'll dive into our profession with interviews and meaningful content to inspire you. We're not experts,
But we're pretty close.
The ideas and opinions shared by any host, guest, or listener are their own and do not represent those of any respective school district.
Welcome to Library Exchange.
This episode is sponsored by Abdo. Looking for books that inspire young minds? Check out Abdo.
For more than 30 years, Abdo has been creating top-quality nonfiction and fiction content for students pre-K through 12th grade, from simple beginner nonfiction to chapter books and even encyclopedias.
Whether you're in the classroom or library, Abdo's engaging and educational series cover a wide range of subjects from science and history to sports and the arts.
Explore their full collection today at abdobooks.com and discover why educators and libraries trust Abdo for the best in children's publishing.
Abdo Books, where the book is just the beginning. Today, we are changing things up a bit. My co-host, Jan Wilson, is actually going to be the special guest today.
I think that's the first time you've ever called me special. Thank you.
Now let me introduce our co-host for this episode, Jennifer Brown.
Thank you for having me.
Jennifer, can you describe your role in your school district?
Sure. I have a very unique position. I am the instructional coach for the media programs, so I support all the levels from the district office in enhancing library programs and instruction through individual support and professional development.
That sounds like a one-of-a-kind position in our field.
It is.
In this episode, we are going to learn more about the Bookmobile program that has grown to be a very popular solution to the traditional summer slide in the largest district in the state of Georgia.
I'm excited to learn more about this successful program. Welcome to Library Exchange, Jan.
Thank you very much.
Before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about your district, including enrollment or demographics, and any other details that might provide our listeners with context?
Sure. A little bit about our district will tell you how large it is. Our district currently has an enrollment right at 183,000 students in 141 schools. Our students are from 181 countries and speak 108 different languages. And that amounts to about 20% being English learners. And on the employee side, we have about 24,000 educators and support staff.
Wow, thank you for that. We've heard a lot about the Bookmobile program in your district through local news media and articles in several publications. It is one of the most successful programs of this kind. Before we get into details of the program, I think it would be great to start off with current statistics for your Bookmobile program.
Sure. So the Bookmobile program is a year-round program that began in 2017. At any given time, there are between 4,000 and 6,000 books on the shelves, and there are titles for children from birth through grade 12. The easiest way for me to describe the program is school year versus summer program. During the school year, it's a giveaway program where a school hosts a Bookmobile event and students get to choose a brand new book to take home, keep, and hopefully build personal libraries. And we average about 113 schools hosting an event each year. And since 2017, over 260,000 students have chosen a new book to keep. Rolling right into summer, this is a true mobile library program where anyone who visits the Bookmobiles can check out 2 books each week. We have 102 stops, and we go to those same stops at the same time every week for 7 weeks in June and July. We average about 9,000 visitors each summer, and almost 11,000 books are checked out.
Wow, that is so many.
That's a great program. Why did your district decide to start a Bookmobile program?
So let me look at my notes. In 2016, I served on the School Library Leadership Council, and this is a council that's made up of elementary, middle, and high school librarians that's formed through an application process. And at the time, our director posed the question, challenge really, how can we prevent summer slide? And is there a way that we can utilize the hundreds of thousands of books that just sit in our school libraries all summer? We eventually broke up into subcommittees and looked into little free libraries, opening our school libraries in the summer. And then Bookmobile was another subcommittee. And we needed our solution to be committed to choice, variety, and access. And the Bookmobile program planning begun from there.
So I can't even imagine, where does that planning process even begin? How do you even start?
Well, I'll just keep it simple. You need a vehicle, books, and staff, and a way to pay for all three.
Said all three, but does that include, like, how many vehicles? Like, how many vehicles do you have now in your program?
So we started with one bus that was upcycled. It was actually donated by our fleet maintenance and facilities. Currently, we have 2 Bookmobiles and 1 van.
Why a van instead of a third bus?
That's a great question. So a van has allowed us to go into areas of our community where a bus can't fit, whether it be through the apartment gate or in some of our neighborhoods, there's just not an area for the bus to turn around. So that van has allowed us to expand into some of those areas. And the van's been super successful. This is only the second summer we've had it as part of our fleet.
So do you feel that the van has been as popular as the buses?
The van is definitely as popular as the buses because we keep that staff small. It only operates 3 days a week, and they really get to know those kids and parents. Last summer, at the end of the summer, we had a couple of residents in a neighborhood actually bring flowers to the librarians. And we have kids in different neighborhoods who we call our ambassadors. They walk around the neighborhood and recruit people to come to the van each week. So it's definitely a special group.
I can imagine that each summer the kids are looking forward to it. I wonder how they reacted this year when they got to see their van certified librarians show up again this year.
Oh, they called them OGs. And it's just, those librarians have dedicated and committed their time to a second summer. And even though they do receive a small salary during the summer, our school librarians' hearts are really in this program. And I've never asked them, but I'm sure they would do it for free.
How do you determine your summer staff for the Bookmobile buses and the van?
Our staff during the summer are our certified school librarians. I do have people ask, why do you have 2 librarians per vehicle? And it is because of the school librarians' knowledge and expertise. They know how to have conversations with kids to help them connect with that just right book. And it's not necessarily about reading levels or have you ever read this before, or let's only get one graphic novel. They know how to help students find something that they will enjoy reading.
So it is my understanding that the Bookmobile program in your district is very unique compared to other Bookmobile models. Can you describe the goal of the summer program compared to the goal of the school year program?
The goal of the summer program is to put books into kids' hands by providing access, variety, and most importantly, choice. So while there are other programs that distribute a few books in a bag that they hand out to students, our focus is allowing students choice because just like adults, kids are more likely to read and finish a book they've chosen themselves.
With 2 buses and a van, how did you decide where the stops will be in the summer program?
Our first summer, we chose an area of Gwinnett County where a public library had recently closed its doors. But mostly, we depend on what is called the United Way Child Wellbeing Index. This is something that is nationwide. The Child Wellbeing Index allows you to get a closer look at neighborhoods by zip code even. And the data comes from multiple sources. We look at the percentage of students who are exceeding 3rd grade reading standards. We look at the high school graduation rate. We look at the percentage of access to internet and the food accessibility score. And that is how we determine our stops in collaboration with our transportation department, who provide us with the most densely populated areas of our county so that we are serving as many students in these identified areas as possible.
So I think it's amazing that because of the lack of transportation, that library in particular closed its doors. And to combat that issue, this leadership council came up with a way to actually take the library to the people. And so that's amazing to me. Where do the funds come from for this program?
The majority of our funds are donations and sponsorships from businesses. When we first started the program, we actually used school libraries' books on our bookmobiles each summer. We borrowed books from schools, and you may be thinking, oh my goodness, what about all of the ones that aren't returned? Well, you have to accept the fact that loss is a part of any library program. We also have a 5K each year, which helps to fund our summer program.
So the school year program, let me just get some clarification here. You're saying that students actually are able to take a brand new book, choose one from the bus, and put it in their personal libraries. Is that correct?
Yes. We do not take book donations. I mean, unless they're brand new. We have vendors that we work with. We buy high interest popular titles for students. And during the school year, all of the books are brand new.
I mean, I think that's a major distinction between this program and other bookmobile programs, because of course people want to get books into the hands of kids, but the fact that they're brand new books, giving the best you have to these students to be able to choose from for their personal libraries, I think that's just incredible.
Yes, our kids deserve it.
This program really builds relationships in the community. Can you explain the impact on students as far as building connections?
A couple of stories that come to mind. One of our first summers, a student said to his parent, I don't want to go on vacation next week because we're going to miss the bookmobile. I also had a high school student write a short note explaining that this is the first brand new book that he had ever owned. And that's what we want to hear, because books in the home are very important.
Based on your data that you shared with us earlier, being that this, I believe, is the 9th summer of the Bookmobile program, and you in some way, you've had some part in that, even before you were part of the actual team that ran the program. What, after all these years, what does this program mean to you?
Professionally, it's the most positive program I've ever been involved with, because at the county level, I get to see a larger impact with reading and a love of reading beyond just the students at my school, and the collaboration that I've had with the different departments in our district and in our community, because we also provide daily snacks during the summer. Our school nutrition program provides meals for part of the summer. And it's just a great group who want to make a difference and make an impact. And I'm just one part of that.
That really is a group effort. What are some ways that people can show support for the Bookmobile program in your district?
So each October, it's the third October every year, we have a 5K that's held in Suwanee, Georgia. You can participate virtually by registering. You can purchase a t-shirt online that will be mailed to you. There's also an area just for donations, knowing that all of that money goes towards funding brand new books for our students and our children to select.
Share the URL for that 5K for people to sign up.
Sure. You can just Google GCPS Bookmobile 5K, but the website is bookmobile5k.com.
So, Jan, the Bookmobile program has transformed access to reading across your district. It brings books directly to students who need the most. This initiative isn't just about books, it's about building connections.
Results speak for themselves. I mean, obviously, tens of thousands of students have discovered books that inspire them, and barriers to access have been broken down. We can't wait to see how it continues to change lives in the years ahead. Thank you again, Jan, for speaking about the Bookmobile program in your district.
No problem. Thank you. So, Julie, before we get into our recap of this episode, who I think is one of the best guests you've ever had. 2 secrets to share to our listeners. One, Julie is my director. She's the boss of me in real life. And 2, we both work for the department that runs the Bookmobile program. I've coordinated it since 2018, and Julie has been a part of it since 2017.
So I love this Bookmobile program and how unique the model is. The team is so committed to providing new books with the titles that students find most appealing.
Yeah, so we're going to get into the recap. And since we're so involved with this program, and I'm not trying to sound critical, Julie, but there were some questions that I expected that you didn't ask, which means I cannot be replaced as the host if you were thinking. So this recap is going to be Jan filling in the blank. For example, hey, Jan, what do the Bookmobiles look like? Do you want to go ahead and ask me?
Yes, Jan. Will you describe how the Bookmobiles actually look?
Okay, so the 2 buses were donated to us from the fleet department. So you walk onto the bus, all of the seats are removed, and shelves line the sides of the bus up against the windows. A generator was installed, which provides air conditioning and power. And bus wraps were designed by a graphic designer in our division. So one of our buses we call PAL. It's a comic book graphic novel themed. And there'll be links to the pictures of the buses in the show notes. But this one is my superpower is reading. And then the Explorer Bookmobile has an underwater scene on one side and the sky and a city landscape on the other. We kind of say, hey, reading can take you anywhere with this bus. So when the bus goes to a school, kids are super excited when it pulls up. It is like a field trip for them to get on the bus because they're always so shocked, like, where are all the seats? And lastly, we have that Quest van that was also donated. And depending on your age, it's similar to Highlights magazine, where you seek and find hidden objects. And we have magnets with a legend of objects all over the van. And we rotate those out so students can find something different each time they visit.
And we also worked with a local sign company to print and apply the wrap to the outside of the buses. The thing that I've noticed most about this program over the years is that the team that runs the program, and this is basically our team, are super committed to making sure that students have the best books to choose from. And I would imagine that other programs are doing a great job of getting books, whether used or new, into the hands of kids. But knowing that the students will see the same books that they would find in their school libraries and in the book fairs that visit their schools adds a special touch to the program.
Definitely. I mean, now that you mention that, during the summer, we have a large inventory of graphic novels on purpose because sometimes this is the first opportunity a student has to check out one of the graphic novels they want to read. And I also wanted to emphasize again why our department, when we discuss this program, talks about the importance of having certified librarians as the reader advisor during the summer. And when the bus comes to their school, the librarian is always there to help find those books with students.
Can I just make a comment to your comment just then? So
you're the boss of me.
Yeah,
you can make a comment.
I don't want it to make it sound like we don't provide graphic novels in our school libraries. We do, but the issue is that our schools are super large. So you have 5 copies of something or 3 copies of something. A student might be on the wait list for months and months and months and never have the opportunity to have that Diary of a Wimpy Kid or Dog Man or one of the things they've been waiting for. So we make sure that the popular books that they would love to read, they have access to, and many of them are able to check those out in the summer because there's not as much competition to check the books out.
Yeah, that needed to be clarified. I'm not sure how I worded that, but I think if people are in school libraries, you know that section is wiped out all the time. We want kids to read anything, and if they want to read graphic novels all summer, read whatever you want to read.
Just to remind people, if you're looking into starting a program like this, we started with no resources. So partnerships were very important. It's crucial to have partnerships in your district. Our department collaborations include fleet maintenance and transportation. school nutrition, early learning, the technology departments, and communication teams. The community partnerships, which there are so many, but our big ones, the food banks like Atlanta Food Bank and the charity organizations like Backpack Buddies of Atlanta are also helpful to partner with so that snacks can be provided or full meals in many cases at our stops in the summer.
Yes, if you start talking about wanting to especially do something in the summer for students to have access to books, people will partner with you. You have to find a way to let them know. And if you want to start a program like this, you certainly can do it. You're bringing books to where kids are during the summer, especially in their homes. But realize that this program for us has been evolving and growing for 8 years.
Yes.
And like Julie said, your basic needs are a reliable vehicle, whether it's a bus or a van. You need books and people to drive the bus and librarians to help students find books. Hopefully they're librarians. There are a lot of different ways to make this happen, but our program has proved to be a successful model, so you can do it. You want to tell them how to find more information, Julie?
Yeah, so for more information and how you can donate or sign up for the Fall Bookmobile 5K, you can visit the Bookmobile website at www.gcpsbookmobile.org.
Everyone, we hope you are enjoying your summer. Thanks for tuning in.
Make sure to visit our website at www.libraryexchangepodcast.com.
You'll find episode notes and links. You can even submit your questions or inspiring stories that may be featured on the podcast.
If you're looking for some swag for your library or book-loving friends, visit libraryexchange.etsy.com.
That's a lot of URLs, so I'm glad you had to say all of that, Julie.
Thanks for joining us. We can't wait to have you back for our next episode of Library Exchange.